One of the topics that I talked about over a year ago in the April bootcamp was the naked short war theme. Maybe it was March. The naked short war theme. And here we are in August, and it's still absolutely a thing. We just recently saw stocks like MULN push like a 200% move based off this naked short war catalyst. Guys, I'm not here to tell you guys about the naked short war. I don't even believe in it. But when there is something hot, when there's a theme in the penny stocks, that is information that I can trade off of and find valuable edge behind. So I'm going to play a short clip from that bootcamp, me talking about the naked short war and how I utilize these bogus or real themes, no matter what I think, how I use what moves the market to my advantage, and how do I build theses around those types of situations and scenarios. So without further ado, I'm going to play that video for you guys now. This is where GTII became very interesting to me this year. This perk off this $1 level. This is when the naked short theme started to happen. If you guys aren't aware of the naked short theme, I think it's one of the more silly themes in the market that I've ever seen. I don't care how silly the theme is. If it produces a reaction, if it produces results, I need to be aware of it. Whether it's a car theme, whether it's a naked short theme, whether it's a Bitcoin theme, a marijuana theme, if there's something that is moving markets with volume, percent gains, and range, I need to be aware of what is moving those stocks. And Roger Hamilton, we saw with GNS, he came out and said war on naked short sellers. Jack Kellogg talked about this a little bit in his speech. This is not something I'm necessarily trading very well. You can see that there's not really good first red days in this chart. I mean, you have 2 green days in a row, but this thing sold off from 6 down to 3 and closed down 50%. It's not green, green, green. It's kind of a different nuance of the pattern. I don't want to be shorting down in the middle of the range, right? I want to be shorting extension. So this never really set up in a way for me to trade it, and I really didn't trade this very much. You can see this is very choppy. There's no consistent multi-day run. This would be very hard for me to ever have an entry on and be successful because the pattern's not there in the first place. But I do acknowledge that Roger Hamilton made his stock move from $1 to $5 based off this naked short war theme. I also acknowledge that he has 930,000 followers. So he has some kind of crowdsourcing effect on the markets. That's really important to me. So I'm going to follow this guy. I'm going to ring his little bell, not because I believe in the naked short war, but because I think he has the power to push stocks in this moment. You've seen Elon Musk do that with other stocks, with Dogecoin, with Tesla. When people have big followings and they start talking about stocks, you know, VLTC, Carl Icahn buying that at 50 cents and it goes to 26. When people have presence and they start moving stocks, I need to be aware. Ringing that bell on Roger Hamilton was probably one of the more profitable things I could have done. And again, it's not because I believe in the naked short war, but it's because I want to see this naked short war develop. I started to see a number of tickers get reactions, but most of them were illiquid. Most of them were just joining the cause. Most of them were just people tweeting. I needed to see actual influence like Roger Hamilton with huge following talk about it. So Roger Hamilton's whole thing was, we're going to do some kind of specialized dividend, right? Where if we allow this dividend to come out and there's a dividend on our stock, then if anyone's short, they have to pay dividends and they're going to cover and there's going to be some naked short squeeze. I think it's all baloney. But that is his rule book. That is his guidebook on how you're going to squeeze the shorts, the naked short war. And what happens? GTII starts getting mentioned by Roger Hamilton on January 22nd, talking about mergers, talking about the rule book, talking about everything that has to do with fighting the naked short war. And now we have this guy tweeting about it. You can see the engagement right here, 15.9 thousand engagement insights. And I'm starting to think, whoa, is this OTC about to do a pump and dump? Again, I don't believe in this. And this is really what a modern day pump and dump looks like. There's no longer emails. There's no longer calls from Jordan Belfort. There's Twitter. And people are going to pump their stock up. They're going to see the naked short war. They're going to see Roger Hamilton leading the charge. And then these OTCs are going to try to gain some friction so that they can dump on the liquidity that comes into their stock. It's even worse for the OTCs to start doing this because 99% of all OTCs are going to be absolute crud, right? So when they get involved, you know that this is like a bad situation.